Alright, welcome back everybody to Zelda 1. We have reached post Dungeon 2. We are going to hopefully power up Link here. I gotta start. I bought the candle previously. I've got a decent amount of rupees right now, so I need to start turning those into things like bigger shields and tunics and arrows, all of which are expensive. I think I already mentioned that. Shield ranges, I think, between like 90 and 130 rupees. Arrows is gonna set me back 80. Blue rings 200 some. So yeah, and grinding out rupees is not as easy as, well, I guess there are more difficult games to grind rupees out in, but they would be on the Game Boy, I would imagine. Yeah, right there is one of the areas I want to go to, because if I'm not mistaken, this has the big shield. Yeah, this is the cheapest version of the big shield you can find at 90 rupees. It's also known as the magic shield. It'll allow me to reflect that. Not reflect everything, but it does make life a lot better when magical attacks slash, you know, stuff like that is now being reflected instead of me taking the damage. That'll be more important, or more, what's the word? It'll be better for me. It'll be better for me as we get deeper into some of these dungeons, because some of the statues start throwing that magic fireball the Zora shoots at me, so the ability to block that instead of having to tank it is nice. Got some wandering I guess I gotta do. Looking at a map. Eventually we'll get to the third dungeon. Not right now though. There's a starting area. Hi, starting area. Did you miss me? No? Yeah, me neither. Oh look, it is a fairy. Hello, Miss Fairy. Yeah. Got my health. Can't go that way. I do not have either A, the equipment, nor the ability, even if I had the equipment, to go over that large of a stretch. One heart away from my beam sword again. Excited. Pink. I want some rupees. So I need a letter for the old lady, and then she'll start selling me potions. But I don't really need her right now, because her potions do not get any more or less expensive as the game goes on. Suck it. Alright, welcome to level 3, Dungeon 3. Now this is where we'll be getting, I believe it's the raft. Because you need the raft in order to get to Dungeon 4. So this is not... none of these items, I guess, are I guess very few of these items are going to be optional. Some of the later ones are. Obviously, you probably go the whole game without using boomerang. Bow and arrows required, because the game won't let you progress unless you have all the pieces. Triforce. I'm going to say that this boat thing is also required. There's a ladder thing that you get later on, I think is also required. Though I'm not sure if you're able to bypass certain areas. If you don't have it, can you get to certain areas? I don't know. Bombs, obviously they drop, are required. If you want to get to the last area at least. Let alone unlock a whole bunch of shit. Is that it? I feel like that's it. Oh. I think whistle's also required. Could be wrong, though. Oh, my least favorite enemy in the whole game. Dark Nuts. People argue, say, oh no, it's the wizard robes. Those are the ones you don't want to play with. I hate Dark Nuts. They cannot be stunned by your boomerang. They cannot be affected by your arrows, and they turn at a moment's notice. The only upside to them is the fact that as they're traveling north, south, east, or west, they're stuck in that path till they get to the next block. Sort of like these blob things. They have to go to the next block before they can choose to go to a different position. Dark Nuts are the same way, where they have to go to the next square before they can turn 90 degrees. They're so fucking obnoxious, because you think you're running up behind them to hit them in their butt, and then they'll just 180 on you and just be like, good luck. What's that? I have a shield too, Link. Well, my sword goes through your shield, but your sword does not go through my shield. This is an area you don't actually have to fight the Dark Nuts in. You can do this, at least until they turn around like a jackass. So you can imagine, you know, one Dark Nut, not that big of a deal. Two Dark Nuts, probably like a room full of them, like 8 or so. Good luck. Oh, by the way, if you don't want to fight the Dark Nuts, you don't have to. But just be aware that, like, we're hiding an upgrade behind, you know, you defeating them. Like, this game does not have the quote-unquote boss key that exists in most of the other Zelda games. You know, where you pick up not only little keys, but you end up having to find the big boss key so you can go to the big boss door. This game does not have that, but they would definitely, if it did, it would definitely be, at least one of these dungeons would have like a group of 5 or 6 Dark Nuts just sort of blocking your way like that. Blocking your way. Can't get through here unless you kill all of us. But this, I think, is far more obnoxious because that door to the far right cannot open it until all the Dark Nuts are dead. Which means that fucking fight them, or you're not progressing. I guess that's maybe a saving grace right there, is you can hit them through the wall. At least with this bigger, I think this sword's a little longer, because I don't think I was able to do this to the moblin creatures earlier in the game with my level 1 sword. By the way, that is definitely what I would do if I was designing a Zelda game. I would make your level 1 sword however long you want to make it. Okay? And then because this is a, you know, over the head flat game, pixels, blah blah blah, you can see the pixels, all that fun jazz. I would make your level 2 or top level sword exactly 1 more pixel longer than your level 1 sword. So you're not only getting a leveled up sword that does more damage, but it actually has slightly more reach, even though it's hard to tell without really looking and like comparing sprites back to back. Just sort of give it that one extra little pip, if you will. And then depending on where that puts Link's sword, if you have a level 3 sword like you do in this game, maybe make that one also another pip longer, though at that point you might be... Sword might look way too long for Link. So I would understand why you would just sort of leave it as is. Particularly if you increased it in the first round. I don't think you can go in here at all. I could be wrong. I don't think any of these blocks are pushable. Come on, pusher. Pusher, 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 pusher. So those things are called ghosts or something like bubbles. They're called bubbles for some reason. They don't do any damage to Link. However, if they get hit, you can't use his sword for a few seconds, which can cause you bigger problems down the road. And I don't think these things can be countered like they can in later Zelda games where you use magic powder to turn them into fairies. Good, dark nuts. What's your favorite part of the mission? Oh, I gotta fight like a half dozen dark nuts in this stage. Bombs work against them, yeah, but they're not super great either. Yeah. Yep, gotta use your brain, Chris. You can't just run, you just can't fucking face fuck them. Yeah. He turned when I wasn't ready. I thought he was gonna keep going left and I could get a quick stab in there. Another kind of interesting thing I really like about this first Zelda game is this game is very, very focused on the dungeon. Yeah, I mean, sure, you have the overworld map. The overworld map has all kinds of stuff in it, including but not limited to upgrades and stuff to explore and things to figure out and learn in order to progress to the next dungeon. But it feels like this game is essentially designed to be you traveling between dungeons, you fucking fighting in dungeons. That's it. That's the whole game. Travel between dungeons, you know, fight through a dungeon, end. Period. I like me some dark nuts. They're my favorite. I love having to fight them over and over again because they keep respawning. I love the fact that this door to my right will not open until I kill all the dark nuts. I also appreciate that bombs are a very limited quantity in this game, so I better use them to my fullest ability. Also appreciate the Link does not swipe in a 90-degree angle, but just sticks his sword directly forward of himself. Hooray, we finally opened the door. That'll not stay open permanently if I should die or accidentally go doo-doo in my pants. And he do it. I did undo it. Alright, here's your boss. This guy is not terribly difficult. You just kind of want to put a bomb directly in the center of him. If the bomb goes off while it's in the center of him, it'll blow off all four of his mouth thing, legs, whatever you want to call those things. I like to think they're just sort of mouths going nom 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 nom. Or like, I guess like 4 Venus flytraps, but I could also see how they're like kind of like legs moving the larger body around. And then it's kind of gross because that would be 2, 4, 6, 8 legs and making him a spider. Ain't no spider I ever seen. I guess I should address the elephant in the room, yes. This level we're in is called a Munji. It is good luck in Japan. Any anime that, or manga, or anything else that has the manji in it, generally they will get rid of the corners that curve to make it look like a swastika and just make it sort of like a plus sign on their heads, usually. Occasionally they'll erase the entirety of the manji in an anime because it does not hold the same context here in the West as it does in the East because of Monsieur Hilar. Very strange too, because there's a number of things that you know, he used as symbols in his regime. Some of them are okay to still use. The one, not really a bad one, because it was in, you know, they used it in previous wars as well. The Iron Cross is a great example of that. I mean, you know, the Iron Cross is this symbol of Germany that they used, you know, in World War One, and later World War II. I'm sure they may still use it today. You know what I mean? I understand why it is, because you took the flag, what it used to be, you changed it completely, put your little magic symbol in there, fucking put it on all of your uniforms and shit, and then you're surprised when the whole thing collapses. You know, why are people so upset to see it now? You know, 'cause it is what it is. You know? I'm dead. I gotta find a way to sneak past those dark nuts to get down to that, staircase. Yeah, we're gonna roll back here a little bit. I think I'm gonna go to the fairy fountain. We may also take a look at, maybe going to find some more hearts, maybe. I gotta see. To figure out what I want to do. Nope, not this way. The fairy fountain's this direction, to the north. If I'm not mistaken, there's only 2 fairy fountains in this game. And they're relatively close to each other, so the world map's not exactly gigantic either. So, I guess I shouldn't complain. This is actually not a fairy fountain, but instead a level. I'll need a different item to get to here. Remember I mentioned the warp whistle? Well, what I call the warp whistle from Mario 3. Is the same whistle as this game. Anywho. Forgot what I wanted to say. Lovely. Oh yeah, we're looking for hidden areas. Bushes can be burned down in some cases, depending on if it's a hidden bush or not a hidden bush. This is the Lost Woods. At any time I want to leave the Lost Woods, I just have to go to the right. Otherwise, the combination of getting through the Lost Woods is some combination of north, south, and west. Like north, west, you know, north then west, then south then west or something, or vice versa. North, south, west, west. Even though this is the first Zelda game, this game is given very little regard in terms of the Zelda timeline, which I get it. Maybe you don't want to center your whole game around this game. You want to kind of put it towards the tail end of something. So that, you know, ultimately whatever decisions you made in the 80s doesn't affect your franchise survivability long term. I don't realize that the arrows take rupees at this point. This is at the tail. This, in terms of where this game places. This game places towards the tail end of the bad ending to Ocarina of Time, where the hero of time is defeated or killed by Ganon or one of his many minions, and so the world enters a dark age, and the sages end up having to seal Ganon in the Dark Realm, which affects a number of different things, including him sort of turning into this pig monster thing, as well as him wanting to escape the Dark Realm to come back to the whatever you want to call it, this realm. I believe this is placed after Link to the Past, but before Zelda 2. Basically, Zelda 2 is designed to be the end of one of the 3 different options to Ocarina of Time. The first one, like I said, being this bad timeline, where, you know, you get Twilight Princess, and then Link to the Past, and Zelda 1 and 2. And then the other 2 are sort of happy to whatever timelines.